Hey, it's a bush. We're looking at the spaceship landing behind me. I was just watching this on YouTube. It's like a news report from like Channel 7 something or other, and it has a guy shaking a kid. Now, my band, and I don't mean to sound like a whiny faggot about this. It's just that, you know, I have to point it out when I see it. The band before the last one, I got banned for child abuse because I uploaded a clip of a rabbi, or like an Orthodox Jew, maybe. He had the whole cosplay on, shaking a small black child. And I got a strike and a 1-week ban for child abuse. It wasn't as bad as this. It didn't even show what this is showing. Now it's showing him grabbing the kid and like shaking him, but it's you know, it's a white man, an evil white man, and so it's okay, I guess. Fucking rules for thee. Yeah, and just saw that. Wanted to point it out that I mean, I understand why they don't. It's their platform. All these platforms, like all of them, these social media things, it's all Satan's house. And, you know, whatever it is, X, Instagram, Facebook, fucking YouTube, I've been coming into his house and, like, fucking kicking shit everywhere for years. So I understand. Yes, we hear ya. Yep. This is gang stalking. Didn't know I'm doing a video. Yeah, watch some of those gang stalking guys. And I know gang stalking is a real thing. You know, I've had elements of it in my past, having to deal with it. Luckily, I live in Hawaii, though, where everybody's incompetent, so I can't get successfully gang stalked here. But the some of them that are on YouTube, like I watch, I'm just like, I don't know, I just don't see it. So yeah, it can create paranoia, but the actual gang stalking creates more paranoia. So you start to get, you know, it reminds me a little bit like how homelessness works. Like, if you're not kind of crazy and on drugs when you become homeless, give it a couple weeks, you know. I've seen like younger guys show up here, and they're clearly young guys. I see them a few months later, and they look like fucking Father Time, you know. It's something about not getting sleep really fucking does you in quick. You start to age really fast, you know. It's something like that, conflating those two things maybe, but I don't know, there's something there. So yeah, I just saw that and wanted to point it out. You don't know, like, I just gotta be extra careful. If I think, like, I'm always worried about what I say, but it's never usually what I say that gets me in trouble. It's something else that I'm really not thinking of. Because in the case of the rabbi shaking the kid, I was just like, this is horrible. You know, I want people to see this. Even though there's nothing explicit in the video, like, it shows him shaking him, but maybe like an over-excited grandmother might, like, you know, like, oh, look at you, look at, and then he pulls him toward him, and that's when the kid starts like screaming. You can't see what he's doing. But they don't want people seeing that, especially not with their golems. Like, they see black people as their, like, soldiers. You know, they tell them to do something, they do it. They see them as being completely under their control. And, you know, I get it. I've seen that. We've all seen that, you know. So it's like they don't want to be seen hurting their golems. Because, as we've seen in recent years, the golems of different kinds have turned on them. This whole thing with the progressive, like, Antifa type people turning on Israel is hilarious. Because they think they're white. The lefty pole thinks the Israelis are white, so they're turning against them because the Palestinians are brown. And it's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. You know, for once we have something in common, you know. I bet they didn't see that coming though. I was watching Ari Shafir, comedian. Oh, he's a comedian. A comedian, Ari Shafir on, I almost said Bill Maher. Bill Maher's just as bad too. He was on like Howie Mandel show and how he's like, oh, it's getting bad out there. People, you know, hating the Jews. Are you scared? And he's like, no, I don't see it. I don't see it anywhere when I'm outside. He's like, I don't experience it. And Howie Mandel's like, what are you talking about? Everybody's mad at the Jews. He's like, yeah, online. He's like, if you close your laptop, you don't see it. And he's right. And it reminded me, like, I have to keep that in mind. Like, all the stuff I sometimes have in my mind about the geopolitical situation and how they're trying to change the world, and even, you know, my neighborhood and how they're trying to do this and trying to do that. My day-to-day experiences are pretty carefree. Like, I'm not living through any sort of hard time. It's like, that's why when, you know, I talk about the being the end times and, you know, the spiritual war, and we're coming into the last days. I don't know, man. This doesn't feel like the last days. Does it look like the last days? I mean, I know I'm in a tourist area, but still, it's like, if it was the last days, I don't think people would be on vacation. I mean, which is, I mean, I don't know. Is that evidence for the Little Caesar? Is it evidence for Little Caesars? Pizza? I remember, just a side tangent, I worked at Little Caesars in the early 90s. Me and my girlfriend at the time worked there. And they were having this sale for extra cheese, right? This extra cheese sale, where they were selling pieces for, you get extra cheese for, you know, whatever the sale price was. Their thing though, what they did is they just put less cheese on the regular pizza during this promotion, so that the extra cheese just had regular amount of cheese. That was their fucking move. And this was corporate. Like, this was our guy, our franchisee, told us to do this. You know, all the regular pizzas you sell, put less cheese, like 2/3, right? So during the sale time, they just made a lot more money because they saved on cheese. Yeah, places like that, man. Like, they used to get mad at me because I would throw things away. So I'm like, we can't fucking give this to people, because they'd have these, you know, they have food that was going bad, and they would cut off the bad part and use the part that wasn't clearly bad. I'm like, just because you cut off the malignant part of the food, it doesn't mean it's fucking good. You shouldn't be using this. So I'd secretly try to throw shit away, and I was always getting in trouble for that. It's fucking crazy. You know, and we were all Caucasians doing this. You know, so you can only imagine what it's like now. God, I don't think anybody's even cutting the malignant parts out. They're just like, oh, we're just mixing them together. They don't know. Fucking Amish are crazy. Oh, yeah, they painted over the, yeah, the Amish. I talk about this a lot. The Amish in the neighborhood have been going back and forth on this wall here. The Amish will come along and graffiti it up, like with all their king scrawl, their Kang scrawl, and the neighborhood will come and paint it over. It just goes back and forth and back and forth. Like, they graffiti it, town paints it over. So right now, the town is winning. The last Kang scrawl event wasn't that bad. We had a big blue thing here. It's not even like they're just doing it just out of frustration, I guess, because when they first started tagging that, they would do these big elaborate things, and then they come and wash them all down. And then they started doing it's like passive aggressive. Like, what is the little thing? Like, there's a little thing like on that one now. See that little? I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a little white thing, just like a name. Like, no, I'm the king. And so they just do that now. They don't do anything elaborate like they used to because they know it's going to get painted over. But they still, you know, if they don't do that, how are we supposed to know who the king of this street is and who the king of that street is? We don't know who the king is. Fucking, I don't think this fucking neighborhood understands that. There's going to be a power vacuum. I have to know who owns which street, who's the king of what street. Yeah, people come from that environment. It must be really kind of a culture shock. A place like this, everything's nice and like upkept, and I know it's uncomfortable. It's got to be uncomfortable. It's got to be uncomfortable. That's why they try to fucking shit everything up with graffiti, so that they're more comfortable. It's a broken window theory adjacent idea. But broken window theory is, of course, absolutely alt-right and cannot be discussed. But basically, in a nutshell, what broken window theory is if a building has a broken window, it invites more nonsense because people think the building isn't being taken care of. This example has been used with, back in the day, with, you know, if you see a lady at a bar with a tattoo, you know she has no protection because, you know, there's no one protecting her from being stupid. So, it's easy to move, so you can move in on her, you know, broken window theory. It's a thing like that. I've gone into the deeper psychological underpinnings of that concept, but I'm not going to do anything nearly as interesting tonight. I've just got to do a regular demon patrol. Do I go in, no, fuck Ross. We're always going in Ross. You have to though, like, well, I have to, because the way the nature of how they put things out, they just like, they'll just drop shit on the shelf like randomly during the week. And I can always tell when something's been in there. I go in there and they'll have the last couple of this or one of something. I'm like, there more of these, because there are people like me. Well, not just like me. In fact, I don't know who you would have if you were sent on a mission to get someone in this neighborhood that was like me. I don't know who you'd come back with, but yeah, but there are guys that collect shit too, because I see them in there sometimes, and I don't want to talk to them. You know, I'll always see them looking at stuff, and I'm like, oh, he's looking at stuff too. So I'm like, I just try to avoid them. I don't want to have a conversation. Like, hey, what are you looking for? I don't care. I'm an asshole, I guess. But yeah, I see them in there. So there's not a lot to go around here. It's the only place that kind of has stuff like that. That in the mall. There's that super overpriced store in the mall up by the treehouse. I've taken you guys up, and we haven't been to treehouse for a while. We'll go up in there soon. I should get some shorts in there. I've been taking a lot of shorts around town, and those things get a lot of views, man. We got like 1,000 views on like a 15-second clip of a tree out here. I don't know if it does me any good though. It's like, because if anybody likes that and then they watch one of these videos, they'd be fucking horrified. You know, they don't, you know. But, you know, it's just traffic, I guess. I don't know. Nothing that even matters. I've been putting more stuff on the other channel because I'm in a situation now where I could lose this one. You know, I've been like hit so many times. And if I lose this one, I'm just gonna go right over there and just be over there doing the same thing. You have to keep doing that. You know, the only thing they have over you is your perceived clout, and that's how they punish you. Like any of these platforms, whether it's you know, X or Instagram, whatever, they're like, oh, we'll take away their account, and they'll lose all their likes and all their followers. Now, for most people, that's could be, I guess, devastating to people, especially if you make money off your thing. If you're doing a grift for cash, you know, or not even a grift. Like some people work and they do it. Like a lot of speaking of toys, all the toy guys, like, you know, they monetize their channels and they're doing something, you know. But then again, they're not probably worried about being banned the way I am. But yeah, they all they have is that. You know, all they have is that. So if that stuff doesn't matter to you, you fucking sign up again under a new Gmail account. You start again. Who cares? The people that, when you're doing this kind of stuff, at least in my opinion, the people that are meant to find you are going to find you. You're going to run into you. God leads them to you. Because God led me to other people too. That's how I found some of the people I still talk to today and still visit today online. Some of the guys that come here and they have channels too and I go to see them. Yeah, I'm kind of led to them. It's not a thing where it's going to pop up in your algorithm. These kind of things don't pop up in your algorithm. You're not going to see videos about, you know, how to demon spot in your neighborhood. It's the voice. Listen for voices. When you hear someone kibbing out and they scream, when you hear a homeless person screaming, what are they screaming about? Do you hear pieces of Latin? If you can hear some Latin, they're not going to put that in your fucking feed. You know, they're going to put bullshit in your feed. I was talking about that the other day, like, and I always get mad at myself. Like, I'll watch a video about, you know, the making of Batman Returns or something. And as I'm watching it, I'll think, oh, fuck. You know, I'm going to lose Base Commodore now. Or Jesus is Luke Skywalker now. I'm going to lose people I watch. Because as soon as you watch something normie, they don't show you any of the things you really like. And they go, oh, you like this? Here's a metric fuck ton of this. Here, watch all this stuff. Then you like Wonder Woman. Then you like Superman. And then all of a sudden, you know, I'm not seeing Scotty Wags from Chicago's videos anymore. And I don't know if the Walmart is going to kidnap me when I go in there. And they could. And when they're fucking surrounding me with tasers and forcing me into the pen over by Frozen Goods, I'm going to be screaming about YouTube. Why did I watch that behind the scenes video? Let's go away here so we can get this whole group of people to pass. Yeah. It's easy to maneuver on them because it's like they're predictable. They all kind of stick together in these groups. And you just like wait. You duck, you move. It's nice at night out here though. It's kind of breezy. Not too busy. I think, what is it, Tuesday? Is it Tuesday night? Yeah, I think it's Tuesday night. Yeah, you gotta stay in these places. Just make a new thing. The fact that they don't want you in them so bad that's reason enough just to stay. And don't just stay symbolically, like, oh, I'll just make a new account and not sit there. You gotta use it. You have to be there. You know, you have to at least feel a little active. My Instagram, like, what I do is I post things from my folder. Like if I finish a new video, I usually post the thumbnail up to all my accounts. And there's a little thing where you can put the settings on it so that you can post your shit to all your accounts at once. That's what I normally do. Because if I get on Instagram, I get sucked into stuff. I'll start like with action figure shit, and then I'm looking at deformed TikTok people. There's a lot of deformed people on TikTok. Holy shit. There's like, every time I go in there, it's like, what the fuck is that? And it's like some guy with like an eye coming out of his head. TikTok's like full of all that. I didn't know he had so many deformed people in the world. Fucking TikTok, man. I mean, you feel bad for them. You know, your heart goes out to them, of course. You know, you don't want people to suffer like that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, let me watch that behind the scenes video then. I'll go back to that. I'm sorry, YouTube. Sorry I doubted you. Till next time, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.